Hey folks, it's Dave from the Game Hounds back again with Franchise Hockey Manager 5. And today I want to show you how to do a fantasy draft in a historical game. So let's check that out right now. So the first thing you want to do is click on New Historical Game. And we're going to select the year. I'm trying to think of a good year. I know what would be a good year for myself. I know a lot of you guys aren't familiar with some of these old guys. Let's go back to, let's say, 1980. Okay, we're going to choose 1980. Okay. Now, what you need to do is do set initial rosters by draft. That will erase all the teams and put all the players in a big pool. And then we're going to enter a name, 1980 fantasy. All right. And now we're going to hit OK. So that was the key, is hitting that checkbox, set initial rosters by draft. That will set it all up so we have to do a fantasy draft in our season. And it's a little confusing at first to get going, so that's why I wanted to run through what I figured out as far as getting it going and picking a team. But once you get up and running, it's a lot of fun. And as mentioned in my last video for Franchise Hockey Manager 5, I would sit here and I would play this and I'd draft my team and simulate the season to see how I did. And then I'd go and I'd do it again, and I would just chill out at night, just picking my fantasy team. And if I got a team that I quite honestly I didn't like, then I would just delete it and move on and do it again until I got a team that I really like. Because sometimes just the year you pick and where you go in the draft, sometimes you just don't get a very good team. So I would just not play those seasons, and I would just start all over. So again, it does take a little bit of time to load here as we load up the historical game and the historical teams. Again, it's much faster than doing a standard game, that's for sure. And it just happens to be the mode that I enjoy playing in. So I'll show you how to get going with that. The only thing is you can't select which mode, which draft order which draft pick you get. So I'm going to say no here to challenge mode. We'll just keep it Joe Average right now, just to kind of get this going. We'll start on July 1st. We're going to start on a National Hockey League team. What team do we want to do? Again, when you're doing the initial draft, this doesn't matter. Okay, none of this matters because you're going to be picking brand new teams. So let's say Quebec Nordiques. So we're going to say we're going to be the Quebec Nordiques, and we got Joe Average, and let's go. So balance. You know, for this team, I'm going to go very defensive. I'm going to take a very defensive team. Physical will be, I'm going to do a very physical, very defensive team. I'm going to be a defensive tactician. And my GM is going to be, we're going to say he's easygoing because we're going to hire a bunch of goons, okay? So we're going to play very defensive in this and see how it goes. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm initializing game. Now, right off the bat, it does get a little confusing. It's like, what do I do? Here I am at the home screen, my Nordiques, and if I click on my Nordiques roster, there's nobody there. Okay, because we haven't picked the teams yet. So the first thing, again, I suggest to do is go to your manager options and go commissioner mode. Commissioner mode, yeah, that's just where I have all my fun. If you really want to challenge, don't check that mode. It makes trading harder. It makes everything a little harder. But I like to have the sandbox going and have some fun with this. Again, the commissioner mode, you can reset your injuries. You can reset the player happiness and the whole bit. So I really like to play in commissioner mode. Okay, so let's go back to my home screen here. And the first thing that's going to happen is we got to have the draft. Now, it doesn't really show you here. That's the crazy thing. Is like, what's going on right now? It doesn't really tell you anything. It tells you about the preview of what's going on in the season, but what do I do? So what to do is hit continue. And now it says the initial draft is today. Please finish the draft. So now you have something to do. So I was all confused at first myself, like, what do I do? Okay, I got to do the draft. So we're going to go to NHL initial draft. Okay, now it shows you the order here. Colorado picks first, Vancouver, Chicago down the line, and my Nordiques are ninth. Okay, so I'm kind of bummed out about that I got a 9th round pick, but whatever. Coming back the other way, I will get the 34th pick. So let's fire it up here. So we're going to sort by ability. So this is going to show you who goes first. So I imagine Colorado will take Wayne Gretzky, Vancouver will take Trottier, and the Blackhawks Potvin, and then from there we'll find out. It's a 19-year-old Wayne Gretzky too. So yeah, this is his first season in the league, I think 1980. So up here on the action menu, you're going to say next pick, or pick until human, or finish the draft. So let's go next pick. So as predicted, Colorado takes Wayne Gretzky. Let's go to next pick. Dennis Potvin goes to the Vancouver Canucks. Let's sort this again here, see if it's Trottier, Park, or Robinson. Next pick, it's Trottier. Now, I can speed this up until it's my pick. So I'm going to go pick until human. So that's going to pick the first 8 rounds until it's my turn with the Nordiques. You see over here on the right-hand side, Quebec is pick 9. So Gretzky, Potvin, Bork's gone, Park, all the good guys that I really like are gone, but there's still plenty of guys left. So do I want a 28-year-old Guy Lafleur? Do I want a 28-year-old Marcel Dion? Do I want Mike Bossy? Well, Lafleur right now, he's the only 5-5 on the board right now. So I probably should take Guy Lafleur. So what you do is you right-click and you pick Guy Lafleur. This is his salary. Okay. So we select Guy Lafleur. So now, again, you can go to the next pick and watch pick by pick by pick if you want. Or I just go to, let me see here. What is going on here? Oh, it's my pick already. So I said pick until human. So now it's my turn. So I'm going to go ability. Do I want 23-year-old Peter Stastny? Do I want Borja Salming, who's a left defenseman? Since I'm going defense on my team, I'm going to go defense. So I'm going to take Salming. And I'm going to go pick until human. Now, I probably should get a goalie. So I'm going to sort by position. Actually, I'm going to go to filter. And I'm going to deselect everything but goalie. I want to just see the goalies. And I want to sort by ability. Okay, so these are the goalies available to me. A 29-year-old Gilles Meloche, who was one of my favorite goalies, but never on a good team. I could have Glenn Resch, Glenn Hanlon, Pete Peters, Mike Palmetier, Andy Moog. You know something? I got a 20-year-old Andy Moog. His potential's pretty good with 4. So let's sort by potential. So I got a Kelly Rudy is the best potential, but he's only 1 star. So if I plan on playing a few seasons, then this is the way to go. But consider I want to kind of jump in now. I want to take a goalie that's ready to play right now. So it's either going to be Meloche or Resch. Meloche being 29, I think I'm going to go with Meloche. So Gilles Meloche will come to my team, and I'm going to go pick until human. Now, if I want to know what I have right now, so I don't pick too many defensemen or too many forwards, I go to my roster, and it shows you who I got so far. So it shows that I have a goalie, a left defenseman, and a right winger. So now I want to go back to the initial draft, and it's my pick. And let's see what the abilities are. So Peter McNabb. I'm a Bruins guy, and I know Peter McNabb, so I'm going to select Peter McNabb. And then I'm going to say action menu, pick until human. I'm going to sort by ability. And I'm going to go back to my team for one. I'm going to use the shortcut on the right, which is the roster tab. So I have a center. So I need a left wing or a right defenseman. So I need a left wing or a right defenseman. So I'm going to go NHL, back to the initial draft. So I want a right wing or a left defenseman. So I'm going to take off goalies and centers and see what's available. Even left defenseman. And I think I need left wing. Okay, that's what I meant. So let's see what I got. I'm going to sort by ability. So I got a 35-year-old Wayne Cashman. No, I don't think I want a 35-year-old Wayne Cashman. Not on my first line. Right defenseman, Rob Ramage is a good pick. Also, this Maxwell guy's pretty good. 21-year-old. I'm gonna take. What do I want? Van Boxmeer at 20. I'm gonna take Van Boxmeer. What do I want? Fogelin, 25-year-old Fogelin. Brad Maxwell. I'm going to take Fogelin right here because I want to beef up my defense. So I'm a very defensive team because I set up everything for defense. Now I'll pick until human. I'll sort by ability. See, Cashman's still available. And I'm still looking for a left wings. So this Hickey guy looks pretty good at 27. Okay. And I'm going to go pick until human. Now I want to get rid of the filter. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to reset to give me all my positions back. So now I can sort ability and see what the best available guy is. Danny Gare was a big guy in Buffalo. So now, as you see, we're down to the 3 and the 2.5 stars right now. If Cashman is available in the next round, I might grab him, but not right now. Reggie Leach, 30 years old. He's another good pick. Danny Gare, he was always a Bruins killer, so I'm going to take Danny Gare. And I'm going to do pick until human. I check my ability. Cashman is still there. Now might not be a bad time to take Cashman. Although Korab's a good defenseman, and I'm building defense, so I'm going to take the defenseman Korab. And pick until human. Cashman is still there. I got a 41-year-old Brett Hull, if I really want to do that. 30-year-old Bobby Clark. Wow. Bobby Clark at 30, yeah. We're going to take Bobby Clark. Oh, Phil Esposito, 38. I don't want, yeah. Let's take Bobby Clark at 30 years old in 1980. And we'll pick until human. And I'll check my abilities again. Now, I do want to see my roster again. So I got 3 defensemen. I got 2 right wings. So I need a left wing. That's really what I needed. A left wing or a right defense. So let's go back to my initial draft. Filter, left wing, and right defense. And let's sort. So Brett Hull, 41 years old. I really don't want to take a 41-year-old Brett Hull. Don Marcotte is good at 33, but he's only 2 stars. So I either take Lukovic or Hull. 24 years old. That's probably the best I'm going to get. What about potential? See, these guys are all young. Coneyworth and McPhee, Krushelnyski, they're all young guys. But they've got some good potential. I'm going to take Krushelnyski if he's available in the next round. I'm going to roll the dice that Krushelnyski's around, and I'll try to get him. So I'm going to take Marcotte as a left winger. The old Bruins player. So pick until human. Now let's see. Is Krushelnyski still there? Yeah, he is. So this is where I'm going to take Krushelnyski as one of my guys that I think is going to be pretty good. So I'm going to take Krushelnyski. Okay. And he had a low salary too because he's a young guy. So now I'm going to go back to picking whatever else I need. Lambert, that's another Canadian. Stan Jonathan, do I want toughness? But if I go to my roster, I already have 3 left wingers, so I really don't want any more left wings right now. I need to get some defense going. So let's go NHL, initial draft, filter, and let's go back to defenseman. And then see what we have. So Al Sims is, I've had him a couple of other games. He's a really good defenseman for the Bruins. So yeah, Al Sims. And then we're going to pick until human. And I'm going to look for my next defenseman. Dick Redmond was a really good defenseman. I had him in another game. He played really well. So we're going to take Dick Redmond. Even though he's a left defense, and I have a lot of left defense, we're going to take Dick Redmond. Okay. Now, pick until human. I'm going to reset my filter to see what's best available. Because if I go back to my Nordiques and I go to my roster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensemen, even though I have mostly left defensemen. So I need a center and right wing now. It was what I really want to do. So I'm going to go back to my initial draft. So I want center and right wing. And my best ability. So Esposito at 38. I might take him in the next round if he's available in the next round. Because 38, that's up there. Mulvey was pretty good back in the day. Who else we got? Anybody else I know? Silk Pierce. Louis Slager. No, I think I'm going to take Grant Mulvey here. And again, if you're a younger guy, you probably don't know some of these names. I just happen to know some of them, as we are in 1980. So pick until human. Ability. Okay, Phil Esposito is it. So I feel okay taking Esposito now, because if I go to my roster, he'll be my third line center. So imagine that: Bobby Clark, Peter McNabb, Phil Esposito. That's the fun you can have. I keep saying that, the fun you can have in this league, in this game. So let's go back, and we will take a 38-year-old Phil Esposito. We will pick until human. Now I'm going to reset my filter again, even though it's already reset. What do I need now? So I have a solid 3 lines and defense. So I could actually look at a goalie right now. If I go back to my initial draft, I could actually be looking at a goalie right now. So I need a decent goalie. So let's do this. So I could take Tony Esposito at 37, Gilles Gilbert at 31. Yeah, let's take Gilles Gilbert at 31 rather than Tony at 37. And then we'll pick until human. And I'm going to reset my filter because now it's basically best available, because I'm already on my 4th line right now. I really don't want these older guys. Jean Rattel, 39. What are some really older guys here? But I'm already into the 2 and 3 stars. Let's check out potential. Yeah, there's not much here. Hull, Lister, Wilson. He had 41. He's still... I suppose I could take a chance next round. I'm not going to waste a pick on him now, even though there's really not many picks left. Ron Zanussi, I remember him from the Bruins, so I will take Zanussi just because I remember him. And we'll pick until human. Now, if Hull's there... Alright, I'll take 41-year-old Brett Hull. So I got some aging veterans on the team. And Don Luce. Luce was a good center. I will take Luce. So I got Luce and I got a lot of Sabres in my team. Pick until human. Now again, at any time, if you're done with it, so if you go to your roster and you say, well, these are pretty much the guys I'm going to roll with. I don't know anybody else, or I really don't care for anybody else. You can go to your initial draft and you can say CPU finish draft. And that'll just finish the entire draft. So the draft is now done. Now I do want to go back to my NHL and edit. So this is what I can change here. I can change goals per game and penalties. I can reset injuries. I think once I started the draft, I couldn't change the rules anymore, so I couldn't change the schedule, which I did in my last video. So you have to do that right away on July 1st. Once you stop drafting or continuing, you can't change anything except the goals per game. So I could bump those up if I wanted to and take the penalties down. So I could save that if I wanted to. Okay, so now that my team is picked, I want to continue. The draft is concluded, so here's all my news. Let's go to my roster. So this is my team. I am going to sell the AI to set up the organization. So he's now dressed people and put the lines together. I'm going to go with the lines, and this is what they suggested. Now I can go here and say AI set the roles, and you'll see all the roles here will change to something a little bit better. So if I want to change something, I could. So Peter McNabb, if I don't want him as a sniper, is there something better? I'm going to put him as perimeter shooter. Go back to my lines, and I can do this with everybody else as well. Is there anything better? No, that's probably the best he's going to... I'm going to put him as a sniper then. And again, now I can go on to my tactics. I got my goaltenders here. So let's go back to my roster. This is my team. I can sort by ability, see my better guys, see my worst guys. I can sort by age. Okay, you can see I got Hull and Esposito. They made the roster. And it just shows you the guys that are dressed and the guys that are not dressed. I'll go to my depth chart, and it shows you all the guys I got here. Yeah, and that's basically how you would do a draft in Franchise Hockey Manager 5, a initial fantasy draft, as I like to call it. So now I got my team, I got my line set up, so now I'm ready to start playing games and see how everybody does. So if you want, we can play down to the preseason. let's players need to be assigned numbers, so I'd have to assign some numbers here. So we'll assign the number, and I think that's the last guy I got to do, so we'll continue. Again, we have some funny news going on here. Read all messages. So let's play to the preseason. And yep, so we have a game against Toronto. So let's play that game. Let's read all messages first. Let's play the game. Continue. And we're just going to sim the game and see how our team did. So it was a 5-2 win for the Quebec Nordiques. In the preseason, McNabb and Lafleur scoring in the first period for me. And then in the third period, Danny Gare and Pat Hickey scored. And then Hickey scored again in the third. And let's check my goaltender here. It was Maloche. He only saw 12 shots. So maybe my defense strategy paid off, at least in the first preseason game. Because I held the other team, which is the Maple Leafs, at just 12 shots. And now I have an injury already in one preseason game. So I'm going to go to my roster. And what's going on with Al Sims? So he's got a knee contusion, 1 to 2 weeks left. Again, I'm in commissioner mode, so if I want to go here to edit, I can reset injuries, go back to my Nordiques roster, and Al Sims is not hurt anymore. He's right here and he's fine. So that's a way to work around injuries if you don't want to turn them off. And I think when you start the game, there's a way to turn off injuries. But again, that little button there really helps. I sometimes will work around injuries, but if it's a lot of them, then I don't. But anyway, that's how you set up the draft in Franchise Hockey Manager 5 and play basically any team you want to do in history and choose from that season having a draft. Again, we're in preseason, so there's no games being played. Let's go back to our home screen. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that one there. And that's how you get started and have some fun with a fantasy draft.